In the year 480 BC, the Persian Empire, led by the ambitious King Xerxes, advanced into Greece with the aim of conquering the fiercely independent city-states. Greece, a land of warriors and philosophers, stood on the brink of annihilation. Among the many city-states, Sparta was renowned for its military prowess and discipline. It was in this crucible of conflict that Leonidas, king of Sparta, emerged as a beacon of resistance. Vast army, and he knew that a stand must be made to give Greece a chance to rally. He handpicked 300 of his best warriors, men with families and dreams, who were willing to sacrifice everything for the freedom of their homeland. These 300 Spartans set out for Thermopylae, the narrow pass known as the Hot Gates, where their small force could hold back the Persian tide. The journey to Thermopylae was filled with a sense of solemn duty. As they marched, Leonidas spoke to his men, reinforcing their resolve. "Spartans, we march not just for Sparta, but for all of Greece. Remember our training, our discipline. We fight for our homes, our loved ones, and our freedom. Let us show the world what it means to be a Spartan." At Thermopylae, Leonidas and his Spartans joined forces with other Greek allies, including Thespians and Thebans, who were equally determined to resist the Persian onslaught. The pass at Thermopylae was narrow, a strategic advantage that nullified the numerical superiority of the Persian forces. The Spartans set up a defensive position, fortifying the pass and preparing for the inevitable clash. On the first day of battle, the Persian army, vast and seemingly endless, marched towards the pass. Xerxes, confident in his overwhelming numbers, expected a swift victory. But as the Persian soldiers advanced, they were met with the formidable Spartan phalanx. Shields interlocked, spears thrust forward, the Spartans held their ground with unyielding resolve. Leonidas, at the forefront, commanded his men with a voice that cut through the din of battle. "Hold the line," he shouted, his presence a rallying point for his warriors. The Spartans fought with precision and ferocity, repelling wave after wave of Persian attacks. By nightfall, the ground was littered with the bodies of fallen enemies, but the Spartans remained unbroken. That night, as they tended to their wounded and prepared for the next day, Leonidas spoke to his men by the campfire. "Today, we have shown the Persians the strength of our resolve. Tomorrow, we will do the same. We fight for more than ourselves. We fight for our freedom, for our way of life. Rest well, for tomorrow we make history." The second day dawned with the same intensity. Xerxes, frustrated by the unexpected resistance, sent his elite troops, the Immortals, into the fray. These soldiers were renowned for their skill and discipline, but they met their match in the Spartans. The narrow pass forced the Immortals to engage in close combat, where the Spartans' superior training and indomitable spirit shone through. Once again, the Spartans held their ground, inflicting heavy casualties on the Persian forces. As the day wore on, the sun beat down on the battlefield, the heat adding to the fatigue of the soldiers. Yet the Spartans fought on, driven by a fierce determination. By the end of the second day, the Persians had gained no ground, and Xerxes' frustration grew. He sent emissaries to Leonidas, offering wealth and power in exchange for surrender. Leonidas's response was resolute and defiant. "Tell your king that we will never bow to a tyrant. We fight for freedom, and we will fight to the last man." The third day brought betrayal. A Greek traitor named Ephialtes revealed a hidden path to the Persians, allowing them to flank the Greek forces. As the Persian army prepared to encircle them, Leonidas gathered his men for a final council. "We have been betrayed," he said, his voice calm but resolute. "But let us show the world what it means to be Spartan. Let us fight with honor and die with glory." The Spartans knew what awaited them, but their resolve did not waver. Leonidas ordered the allies to retreat, understanding that their sacrifice would be meaningless if all of Greece fell. The Thespians, however, chose to stay, honoring the bond forged in battle. Together, the Spartans and Thespians prepared for their final stand. The Persians closed in, their numbers overwhelming. The Spartans fought with unmatched bravery, each man determined to take as many enemies with him as possible. Leonidas led the charge, his spear cutting through the ranks of the enemy. The battlefield was a maelstrom of blood and steel, the air thick with the cries of the dying. Leonidas, wounded but unyielding, continued to fight. His presence inspired his men, even as they were surrounded. In the chaos, he saw his warriors fall, one by one, their sacrifices a testament to their valor. With each fallen comrade, Leonidas fought harder, his spirit unbroken. As the battle reached its climax, Leonidas was struck by multiple arrows and spears. He fell to the ground, his vision fading. His last sight was of his brave Spartans, still fighting, still resisting. His final thoughts were of Sparta, of his beloved wife Gorgo, and their son. He knew their sacrifice would inspire Greece to continue the fight for freedom. With the fall of Leonidas, the remaining Spartans and Thespians fought to the last man. Their stand at Thermopylae had bought precious time for the Greek city-states to unite and prepare for the battles to come. The sacrifice of Leonidas and his 300 Spartans became a symbol of courage and defiance, echoing through the annals of history. The legacy of Leonidas and his 300 Spartans lived on, inspiring future generations to stand against tyranny and fight for freedom. Their story, one of valor and unyielding spirit, remains a testament to the enduring power of courage and the human spirit's unbreakable will. The Battle of Thermopylae was not just a military engagement, it was a statement. It declared that free men would not bow to despots, that the spirit of liberty could not be extinguished by sheer force. The heroism of Leonidas and his Spartans echoed through the ages, a beacon of hope and a reminder of the cost of freedom. In the years that followed, the Greek city-states, galvanized by the sacrifice at Thermopylae, united under the leadership of Athens and Sparta. They faced the Persians in a series of battles that would determine the fate of Greece. The naval victory at Salamis and the decisive land battle at Plataea ultimately turned the tide in favor of the Greeks, ensuring their independence and preserving their way of life. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans were honored and remembered. Monuments were erected, and their story was told and retold, a source of inspiration for generations. In Sparta, the memory of their king and his warriors became a cornerstone of their identity, a symbol of what it meant to be Spartan. Gorgo, Leonidas's wife, played a crucial role in maintaining his legacy. She taught their son to honor his father's sacrifice and to uphold the values that Leonidas had fought for. She herself became a symbol of strength and resilience, embodying the spirit of Sparta. As the years passed, the legend of Leonidas and the 300 grew, transcending the borders of Greece. Their story became a universal symbol of resistance against oppression, of the power of a few to stand against the many, and of the enduring human spirit that refuses to be conquered. In the end, the stand at Thermopylae was not just a battle. It was a testament to the ideals of freedom, courage, and sacrifice. It reminded the world that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the spirit of liberty can shine bright, and that the actions of a few brave individuals can change the course of history. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans may have perished at Thermopylae, but their legacy lived on, inspiring countless others to fight for their beliefs, to stand firm in the face of adversity, and to cherish the freedom for which they had given their lives. Their story, etched into the annals of time, remains a powerful reminder of the strength and resilience of the human spirit.